response to the Ask Andy segment has been overwhelming on our Tennis Channel social media platforms. You can submit a question, any question, by using the hashtag AskAndy. Nothing in the bylaws says that it needs to be about tennis, but this one was. Take a listen.
Hi Andy, have you considered playing any exhibitions? I miss you so much. Regards from Chile. I play some exhibitions in the States on the Invesco Series tour, and then a couple, probably a handful a year outside of it. My game isn't really where it needs to be. I could play really well for probably 4 or 5 years after I retired, and unfortunately the game has fallen off of a bit of a cliff. And frankly, I don't have enough time to put in the reps that it would need to get it back at this moment in time in my life. But I still enjoy playing. I love going out and hitting tennis balls. I think that's something I'll always do, and hopefully at some point I'll be able to do it a little bit more consistently and make it back down to Chile.
I'm curious, Andy, now that when you do play, because it's not life and death and your livelihood doesn't depend on the final scoreline, do you enjoy it? Are you in the moment having fun any more than the old days, or less?
It's tougher to have fun just because I can't execute quite as well. I think the difference is it's not going to ruin my dinner if it doesn't go my way now. So I think everyone still enjoys playing pretty well, but I think in order to have a certain level of expectation, you probably have to earn that by actually preparing, and that's probably not my strong suit anymore like it was during my career.
Knowles, do you have fun anymore?
Yeah, Andy continues to be way too humble. He's such an engaging person, but I've been fortunate to hit some with Andy over the last couple of years since retirement. He's still serving absolute cannons. Still got the big four, and he's still moving. So, we all remember the big serves, and this was one of the biggest that you've ever hit right here.
Yeah, I think this is the only time I ever tried to break it. Because it kind of went in little 1 mile an hour increments. So I think I actually broke it 4 or 5 times, and I think I actually called my shot. At the beginning of that clip, you see me kind of chirping at the bench a little bit. I think I said I'm going to let this one fly, and it flew.
That was 04 Davis Cup, 155 miles an hour, which to this day is the third fastest official serve ever. We're not counting that Sam Groth BS from the Challenger in South Korea. This is an official serve. Andy, we did want to point out this event that took place in Rolling Hills, California over the weekend, the Home Court Advantage exhibition. Sam Querrey a part of it, Marcos Giron, Brandon Holt, Zach Schweida. Are you buying or selling these smaller events as a way back for tennis?
I'm buying them based on what we're going through. Is this the future? Is the tour sustainable just with having people play tennis in their backyards? No, that's not a viable business. That's not something that's going to, I think, maintain interest for the long haul. But is it a great distraction during this pandemic and for a tennis-thirsty crowd? Absolutely. For what it is, it's a great solution. And for someone like Sam to go out and get some reps, that's great. For young players like a Svida or a Brandon Holt to get a look at these players that are established on tour, that's a great opportunity. So this isn't the end fix for anything that we might come across over the next 6 to 12 months, but it's great for us to see. It's great for the players to talk about, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree with Andy here. I think it's going to be a slow comeback, and this instills confidence not just in the players, but those around that are organizing events. And we know from an ATP standpoint that they're going to probably look to kind of ramp things up a little bit moving forward, depending on obviously the mandates from governments and so forth. But I think this is an important step for the players, more importantly, because ultimately players play. You can only play video games for so long, as we've seen with a couple of guys, but most guys want to get back out on the court, kind of feel those, the nerves that you only feel when you're out competing with something on the line. And this is a good start, and really commend those that put these types of events together. And I'm sure we'll see a couple more here in the short term, but hopefully not in the long term.
A couple more quick hits before we let Andy go. This is a tennis at home submission. How about this? Off the butt cap and the slice serve.
Oh, first try. Take one.
Go. And he made it. Very good. I like that move. That looks like something Mark Knowles could do. One of the most coordinated individuals I've ever seen in my life.
He says it was his first take. I'm not sure if we're to believe that, but I guess we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Andy,
I mean,
as
we're not
you
going to
know,
call him a liar.
I tried everything to improve my serve, but I didn't try this. I should have tried this.
Andy, one last.
No, Mark, you could have tried bending your knees. That's what you should have tried.
I almost want to leave it. They say leave him laughing. That was such a good one. But we do have to show that this is from Chris Stone, Andy, who's the sports editor of the LA Times. And if you've been watching the Last Dance documentary, this might resonate with some people. He's calling you the tennis equivalent of what the 90s Pacers were to the NBA, just bad timing. Does that jive with you?
Well, bad timing, except I got to number one for a cup of coffee. So not quite the Pacers, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Valid, Nolsey?
Yeah, by the way, I'm not buying this at all. By the way, Andy Roddick, Grand Slam champion, #1 in the world. Last time I checked, and we've been watching The Last Dance, Pacers did not come through in the clutch. Andy Roddick came through in the clutch very often throughout his career. So not buying it.
All right, how about maybe the 04 Pistons, because they did win a title and then maybe had a hard time with the Bulls? Is that of a more apt?
I'm actually okay with that because they played ugly like I did. So that's fine by me.
You know what? There's a bit of resemblance, Bill Lembeer and Andy Roddick. I'm with you, Higgs.
I don't know if I see that.
I like the Ben Wallace. I like the Ben Wallace type. You know,
I'm sure you tore down a few
Creative,
backboards like Ben Wallace did in his day. Andy, thanks for the hang today. We will see you on Wednesday.
Thanks, guys.